And news just coming through. Our investigations editor Manoj Gupta getting us more details on the Udaipur blast and the probe so far. Top intelligence sources are telling CNN News 18 that the bomb was planted with the intention of terror. It is a terror act, an act of terror is what the central agencies are saying. Agencies have no lead so far. They have identified some local gangs who have probably done this on behalf of some terror group. The agencies are trying to understand the blast attempt when train had already left. Agencies feel there is a possibility that the remote triggering got failed and that they couldn't install it properly, and that's why the blast occurred after the train had passed. It was intended to happen before the train passed or while the train was passing. There are other inputs which suggest that nearly 3 kilograms of explosive have been used. Their agencies are scanning leads in this case and optimistic to get results soon. The blast material was locally procured with the purpose of sabotage. Terror groups have started new strategies to identify local boys or local elements, antisocial elements, and that to brainwash them through social media. They are identified by the ISI and they are paid some amount of money and then assigned this job of sabotage. The idea is to create optics, kill maximum number of people, cause derailment, and clearly loss to life and property. Let's go across to our guest this evening, Hemant Atri, senior journalist with us, Tushar Gupta, senior editor, Swarajya magazine, and Abhishek Banerjee, columnist, also with us. Namaste, gentlemen. Hemantji, this is a pattern we are seeing. We are seeing youngsters, gangs being recruited to ferry arms, explosives, and also commit acts of terror.
Anandji, whatever is happening in last about 2 months in Punjab particularly and now in Rajasthan, it's somewhat, very astonishing and shocking. Day before yesterday, the way the blast took off at this Udaipur overbridge, the kind of, detonators were used. It was a grade 90 detonator. It's not a simple thing. You and me can't get it from anywhere, number one. Yeah. Number two, the blast used in mining material. It has been, somehow they have got it from some mining, because there are certain areas around in the particular Udaipur area where the mining generally happens. So this kind of material, 3 kg of it, and then gelatin sticks and so many other things are also there. One thing is very clear, that there is 100% a terrorist angle to it. It is not an anti-social kind of a local level activity. It is planned from somewhere very big place and then executed by some local module. Initially, these kind of indications are coming. Now the thing is, how is police going about it? ATS is on the ground, IB is also there, NSG is also there, and furthermore, NIA is also looking into the case. The thing is, how this mining material, this blast material, went to anti-social elements or terrorist elements for that matter. It is the first and foremost point to be investigated. Of course, all those culprits have to be arrested. But first of all, there has to be a very categorical check on this blasting material, which is happening all around in the Shivalik area. If you start from Jaipur to Delhi to Faridabad to Yamunanagar, all this is mining area. And they can always get it. And these kind of people who are working in the mines, they are very lowly paid staff. They don't know the intricacies of what they are giving to whom. This kind of blast material, they could have caused any big, very big traumatic kind of an instance if the railway train was passing over and this kind of blast had happened. So police and NIA have to ensure that this kind of blasting material does not go into the anti-social elements. That is very important.
Very rightly said. Very rightly said. And in fact, Kapil, our News 18 India correspondent, had even reported that the extent or the intensity of the blast was so strong that houses' window panes were rattling and they heard it and they actually shook more than 1.5-2 kilometers away from this place of the blast. Tushar, that also points that there are elements who want to rake up trouble. They want to cause damage. Is this a new form of terror? Cause an accident which causes huge amounts of loss of life and property?
Good evening, Anand. Firstly, I agree with what Mr. Atri is saying. This could have been far worse. This could have taken a lot of lives. They could have consumed a lot of innocent lives. This could have injured many people. This was supposed to be far worse than it ended up being. Anand, there are 2 aspects to this. One, these are lone wolf terror attacks. The ones we've been fearing, the ones we've been talking about since the entire discussion around PFI has started. Now the discussion is also involving local gangs. The idea is to not just rake up trouble, but also instill fear amongst the population. You get one radicalized gentleman or someone online or offline, get them to create blasts like this, get them the materials, get them the explosives, get them the ammunition, the weapons, whatever they need to, and carry out an attack. Out of 100 such attacks, if they carry out, even if they get one right, that's going to take a lot of toll on innocent lives. That is what worries me. That now we are entering a phase where there are organizations which are very cleverly backing these lone wolf terror attacks. Number two, Anand, the railway line in question was inaugurated just a few weeks back by the Prime Minister. This was a
Yes.
gift to the people of the region. And now what do we have? People blasting up the railway line. We saw this with Vande Bharat too. The new Vande Bharat was moving and people were building stones on it during the trial runs. I sense, Anand, there are not just people who want to rake up trouble. These are also enemies of development. They see some new development happening. They see some new project coming up. They see new infrastructure. They want to take it down. So we are fighting a very clever, a very difficult battle here, where we're not only dealing with the enemies of development, we are now witnessing, or rather, we need to focus on the threat of lone wolf terror attacks. That is what we must worry about.
The amount of radicalization, brainwashing that's happening using social media, and also commissioning of crimes, which is happening. Elements sitting abroad, outside the country, are able to get to local